All right, today, guys, we're going to be building the chain drive. So as you can see here, I've got a handle on this side. As I crank it, you'll notice that the chain is attached, and of course it moves. You'll also know that if I come to this side and crank it, it will work too. So that's what we're going to build. Let me show you the pieces, and we'll get started. All right, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need 2 drive shafts, okay? At this point, just use the long ones for my class because we don't have shorter ones that will fit through our walls. You're going to need 2 sprockets. It does not matter what size they are. We have 4 different sizes. You are also going to need 2 of these gear inserts, the black ones, okay? The black ones are the ones that have a square in the middle that the drive shaft will go through, and you literally just take those and pop them in. All right, and we'll go through that in a minute. You're going to need a length of chain that's going to go around the 2 sprockets. You're going to need 4 flat bearings, 4 screws, 1/2 inch will work. Again, shortest screw possible. It's up to you what size, but the ones in the bin will work. And then 4 Kepps nuts. All right. You're also going to need your tools, which are your hex drivers. They're around here somewhere, but you're going to need your hex driver for the screws and the hex driver for the shaft collars as well. All right. So let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. So you're going to grab your wall, and then what you're going to notice too when you grab one of these is some of them, you hear that wiggling, I'm hoping it comes across. Make sure if they're loose, like this one is loose here, make sure you tighten that up, because if you're using a wall and it's loose, that's going to be a pain for you. It's also going to be a pain for anyone else as it uses it going forward. So grab your hex driver, hold on to the Kepps nut underneath, give it a spin, tighten that down. Come over to this side. I'm going to tighten this down too. And this is for any mechanism we build. Okay. Again, I'm just holding the Kepps nut still underneath. And once the teeth grab, give it a quarter turn. And now if I shake this thing, there's no more sound. All right. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to grab me a 1/2 inch screw. I'm going to grab one of these flat bearings. I'm going to pick a spot. It does not matter where. You want to count in so many. It just doesn't matter where. For the chain drive, the only thing that's going to matter for the chain drive is how long the chain is, right? So you're going to stick one of the screws through. You're going to grab one of these Kepps nuts, and you're going to tighten it down. And this is why I made the walls with the 3-inch standoffs, because it makes it easier when you drop it, like I am over and over again, to reach down in there and grab it. Now, the frustration that some of you feel is, I cannot get this Kepps nut to go on. Well, a machine screw like this one, just like any nut or bolt, has to be perfectly square with it in order for that to fit. And so again, once it's on there, hold it, give it a nice little turn where the Kepps nut stuff's doing. Give it a quarter turn, literally, just quarter way around the clock. I'm going to go ahead and put the other 3 on. You want to make sure that they are directly across from each other. So same exact spot, okay? That way they're perfectly lined up directly across from each other, okay? All right, and you'll notice, even though I sped that up, right, you'll notice that I had several issues, like my flat bearing here fell down, I dropped the Kepps nut several times, and so there's always issues that you're going to run into. Just fight through them, and you're good to go. I'm going to go ahead and slide one of my drive shafts through. I'm going to go ahead and I'll just use the bigger one here. I put the flat bearing inside here, right? Now, what I did neglect to get was a handful of these spacers. I neglected to grab a handful, so you will need a couple of these. Don't really worry about, what you want to do is have the same size on both sides. So you'll notice that there's wider ones and shorter ones in here. So I just grabbed a handful. In this case, I'm going to take one of the long spacers. I'm going to slide that on the front. I'm going to go ahead and put my gear on. Now, I find it easiest to slide this, where's my camera here? I find it easiest to put this through the drive shaft first, okay? Because then I can match up square with square. If I'm putting it through the other side, then I can't really see it, right? At least in this case, I can see the square to square, kind of like putting one of those old school, the block game where you had to put the shapes through. Now, once you get that gear on, you're going to slide a shaft collar on the front. Then you're going to take your little hex key. I actually have the cheater one here for the teacher because but you're going to take your little hex key, the one that looks like an L, and tighten it down. If you try to use the big hex keys, the hex drivers, if you try to use this, it will not work. It is a different size. I have the wrong one, and that's why it's fighting me. See, that's what I was telling you. They don't fit. So you got to make sure you get the little hex key. You want to get the skinniest one. The skinny one, which is the longer one up there. I did have one on my desk. Somebody took it. So now that that's on, see, it can't go through this way. So now I'm going to flip around this side. I'm going to slide another one of these spacers on the back. Okay? And then I can take another one of these shaft collars and put it back here. Somebody lost a hex set screw already. Don't take these set screws out. When you take the set screws out, they're gone for good 9 times out of 10. We don't ever find them again. And so that's what this is. This little set screw is missing. I don't know if it's going to come in. You can see it's just kind of clear in there. And that means this shaft collar is worthless. So now that I've got this tightened down, let's see. One of these I should tighten up. I'm going to do it this way since I'm right-handed. Just slide that forward. We don't want any wiggle back and forth. Okay? So there's one side. This side's going to be the exact same. I'm going to slide this through. And slide this forward with my right hand. Sometimes you might need some help with a partner, but there we go. You notice they are even, right, back and forth. Now all I have to do is find a piece of chain that is long enough. And I might actually have one. I might got lucky here. But you're going to go ahead and pop it off. So you're going to stick your fingernail in here, or you just kind of pull it back and forth. Be careful not to break one. But you are going to pry off the one side. Try to put it in a hammer. Pry off the one side and open it up, right? You're going to wrap it. I always go around the bottom. You're going to wrap it around the top, and you're going to then see if it fits. So in this particular case, I don't have enough. So I've got to go grab a couple more links, and we'll get this put together. Now, there are shorter links in the bottom of the bucket, so I could have grabbed some shorter links and done it, added it to that. I ended up finding this longer one, which actually looks like the exact distance I need. You want to see, actually this one's a little long, but for our purposes, it'll be fine. You just kind of snap it on. And let's see if it actually works. Nope, it's too long. See how it's dragging the bottom? So this is what I was going to show you actually, so I can do it now. Pop this back open. Okay, so when you come around the top, when they overlap, see how far they overlap? So they're overlapping about, 3 links. So I'm going to take 3 links off. And if you're not sure, go 1 less the first time. Right? Just go 1 less. I'm going to go those 3 because I'm pretty sure that was it. I'll wrap it around and connect it. Now, there we go. And that's it. That's your chain drive.